Gordon Ryan just having an amazing campaign this entire tournament. There was some question whether he was going to end up competing, as he was apparently had some stomach illness or something the day before the competition, but he showed up and impressed as always. Back again in the finals is Gordon Ryan here.
Gordon doing a good job of pulling some weight into the toes of Traktor. He's going to foot sweep, got foot sweeps and ankle picks, got to be careful. Traktor has really used butterfly guard for most of his matches. I was able to only catch a little bit on the archives. I didn't see any of his stuff live. I didn't call any of his matches.
Vinicius Traktor, you mentioned the butterfly guard. He's training with Marcelo Garcia.
Yep.
Recently moved to New York.
Gordon tries to push by that elbow, collar tie elbow. Now we've seen, we'll see him do the Yashi as well. He uses this technique. There it is. Same as we saw Kanon use earlier. He uses the same technique Gordon does.
All right, Sean Williams, you're saying the Yashi, is that the foot sweep?
Yes, the Yashi is a foot sweep there when you pull one guy one way, and it's just this effortless foot sweep that if it's done at the right time, the feet just leave, go above your head, and you're just in the air. It's an effortless, beautiful technique.
Gordon Ryan, Vinicius Traktor Ferreira. Under 99 kilo division final, Traktor on a single. And, you know, one thing that's really impressive is Gordon's counter wrestling. I really like watching him, how he counters the takedown attempts. He's so calm. Big contrast in his scrambles as to Nick Rodriguez. A little more, not slow pace, but similar to Kainen, kind of that same speed.
It's just that smoothness. They both have very similar looks in their games. Doesn't look like some explosively fast, but man, it's just so smooth that it becomes quick, it becomes efficient. Timing is perfect, near perfect. There's a body lock met with an overhook.
So you mentioned Traktor, that potential toss there. His hips are a little bit far.
Yeah, you got to watch this stuff when you get the body lock. You have the underhook. You have to be very careful leaving your hips back. It opens you up for big haraigoshis and things like this because you open the way for your hips. Now, Vinicius' hips are much lower than Gordon's, but those things like haraigoshis used with the legs at the length could be an equalizer to low hips.
Vinicius Ferreira was actually invited. One of the last-minute entries. There was a couple dropouts in the division. I believe he may have been replacing Keenan Cornelius, if I'm not mistaken, but Vinicius, as we mentioned, representing Team Marcelo Garcia and Alianza. He's being coached by Marcelo right now.
Yep. The one thing that you can see is you watch the feet, and when Gordon pulls Vinicius, look how heavy his feet get. See how heavy he gets braced. So what that's telling me is he's not quite ready for this movement on the feet, and when he braces into his heels, we could see things like Kouchigari's, these takedowns that put you backwards, inside trips, things like this, because the weight is way into the heels. So Vinicius needs to adjust that. His feet are a little heavy, which could mean singles as well. When you get the foot planting heavy, it means that there's a lot of weight in there. Single legs, knee taps, perfect. There's a nice scenario where the weight is going backwards into the heels, and
Gordon Ryan on top of Vinicius Ferreira. You can feel the intensity in this room. It's no one's talking.
Yeah.
And it's just silent. It really feels like a Japanese MMA event.
Yeah.
Crowd cheering for Big Gord.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. You see Gordon's chest and shoulder staying under that far arm there. Looking for an underhook. Looking to lock a head and arm at this moment.
So if you're Ferreira, you're in the half guard here, but Gordon's got your left arm trapped all the way. What do you think he should be doing at this point?
Half, but he's trying to scoop under to deep half, but the shoulder pressure and the sprawl right now is a problem.
It's neutralizing it.
Yeah, and Vinicius plays so much butterfly guard, so you would think is going to be a half butterfly guard, but that's not necessarily a good tactic on a guy like Gordon. We've seen him just mow through butterfly guards with the body lock style passing and things like this. So deep half, I like that idea for Vinicius just because it can get him up and out. He's working on it. Now Gordon's knee is safe. He's going to mount, but gets rolled.
Vinicius on top. Gordon motion his legs over.
Yeah, so well-timed bump and roll. Again, the knee tap again. Boom.
Beautiful knee tap.
Yep. And again, right into this pass. Now, this time I would expect Gordon not to pass to the mount unless he feels it's tired. I think he's going to pass to the cross side. And then that will prevent that big bump and roll. If you mount, you can always leg work back off to the cross side. I'm thinking he's going to be a little more conservative. Yep, there. He's still got into the half guard right now, though. Deep half now for Vinicius. That's good for him.
Yep. Gordon Ryan on top, returning ADCC gold and silver medalist against Vinicius Ferreira from Brazil, who's making his debut at ADCC. Gordon, obviously one of the most, not controversial, but talked about grapplers out there. Not afraid to speak his mind on social media, but he gets a lot of eyes on him, not just because of what he says, but what he does. Yeah. And I think that's the biggest thing is there's a lot of talk about the new generation of jiu-jitsu, trash talking or social media talk. Some people trash talk and they just lose, but Gordon is out there winning everything. So it's a big difference.
It is different.
He's drawing attention to himself, but he's also winning at the highest level.
Yep, exactly. There's
Gordon
the mount
now
again.
Progressing to mount.
This time he sticks it. And head arm choke is coming. Let me tell you, that Katagatami's coming. He's going to walk the right hand up, and you'll see him straighten his arms like an X, and it'll feed the elbow to his chin. Whoops for Vinicius right there. Watch, he's going to straighten his right arm and is going to put his chin or his face on the side of the elbow. There it is, starting to feed the face down the elbow.
12 minutes left. Gordon Ryan in the mount position.
Good
Vinicius.
Bridge. Beautiful.
Recovering half guard here. Great job with the knee shield in. One thing I noticed about Vinicius, he's never really looking to get that underhook with his left arm on Gordon.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's a particular reason or something that he knows that Gordon's going to do? Or is it just maybe not his game? Or what's your take on that?
He must just feel that he's getting, if with that underhook, it's just not working out. He's going for deep half. I think that's what he's trying to get into, to just create movement. Maybe he's a little worried about the Kimura game because if you do win the underhook, you've got to contend with the Kimura.
Vinicius now attacking the leg of Gordon. I feel it's just, from Vinicius's background. I'm not saying that he's confident or not confident in heel hooks or anything like that, but I felt like he was doing that to set up a sweep. Yes. But Gordon takes advantage of that attack and gets to the back, as we mentioned earlier on.
Yep.
Risk versus reward. Gordon Ryan in the best position, had a body lock now, overhook, and now he's going to get that back attack trap system.
Yep.
That you can play it out for here, Sean.
Yes, isolated
What's
the
he
arm
doing? Go
with
for
that
it.
right hand cross grip wrist. You saw him kick the leg over. And now he's just trying to get an arm on the chin. It doesn't need to be under all the way, but especially when he's getting it a little bit under the chin, but when the face is sideways, this is it. If he locks this, this is a big, he tapped.
And Vinicius Ferreira taps.
Trouble.
And there it is. Gordon Ryan